Behold, my stuff.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Harry Potter wall down here, part of my Harry Potter basement experience. I am here with something that's Harry Potter today. You'll notice we're a little farther away than I like to be. I like to be right up in the camera, but we're a little farther away today because I have a whole table worth of stuff, because today we're doing a book. We're doing another book. This is another one-day book build for me. And for those of you who are brand new to this, I want to see some of my previous books that I've done. We have a bunch. So I love fake books, and I cannot lie. So whether it's the Sacred Jedi texts, with pages, whether it's the Darkhold, which was my most recent video, with pages, or whether it's what I'm best known for, various versions of the Evil Dead Necronomicon. This is the Evil Dead 2 Necro with accurate pages. Not Elder Props pages, accurate pages. Sullivan artwork pages, correct, in the correct animatic order, which are weathered. The other book that's on the table we didn't talk about was Advanced Potion Making, which of course is from Harry Potter. Now, I got the Harry Potter book out in front. I'm behind the Harry Potter wall because we got a new Harry Potter book to go over today to complete my Harry Potter book collection display. Magical Me by Gilderoy Lockhart. His autobiography, which is completely full of shit, and it's fantastic. This is not the standard file that you've seen on Wizardry Workshop, for example. I generated this one completely myself. This is all mine. And I absolutely love how this book came out. I'm really, really happy with it. I took what I learned from this book and amended some of the mistakes that came from this book, and I tried a much more complicated build. And so we're going to take a look at this book. We're going to go over it, and again, this was going to be a prototype, but I like the way this came out so much, I decided that's it. That's all in what I'm going to do. That's my book, and I'm keeping it, and I'm moving on with my life. So this will be my display piece. You will notice that it is gold and shiny. So again, I don't do leafing. I don't do it. So how do I get gold without gold leafing? Well, here's how you do it. You get gold paper, and you design your file in such a way that what you want to print gold, you make white. And then the gold will come through, and then these are made separately. So this one, I put a gloss cover on it, the back. It doesn't have gloss on it because that one I just did it with normal paper as a test, and I thought, I'll laminate it and then put it on so it looks a little shinier, and it's fine. But all of the gold from the paper shines through very nicely. Again, Magical Me, Gilderoy Lockhart. Now, something very important to notice, this is different than the Wizardry Workshop version. Why? Because my star is over the I, not the C. I don't know why he put the star over the C. In the show, in the movie, you can clearly see it's over the I, but he put it over the C. And then on here, he did have it over the I, but he had it over the C on his file. I don't know why. So I changed that. I wasn't quite sure about this symbol, so I did it the best I could. I think it's basically that. And again, the text is completely retyped up so it's legible and it looks great. And then, of course, Flourish and Blots, and that symbol again, although it has text on the bottom of that one, and I don't really know what it says, so I just kind of winged it. But that's what this is. It's also got gold pages, so kind of like a Bible. It's a little smaller than the potion making. It's a little wider, and it's very, very much a nice complement. Now, whereas this was Mina Lima, I don't remember who the graphic designers were that did the first two Harry Potter films. So you guys know the first two Harry Potter films were developed by Christopher Columbus, and he directed those films, and they had a very different look. The wands, the robes, the outfits of wizards. There was no Muggle clothing in the wizarding world at all in the first two films. And then movie 3 came along, and they basically decided that they were not going to read the books anymore and just completely made it up as they went along. Like, book 3 has nothing to do with movie 3. So, I watch them and they're fine, but really I only watch the first 2 movies when I want to watch movies. Occasionally I'll watch 3 or 4, but I really only watch the first 2 because they're my favorite. And one of the reasons they're my favorite, not only is the design, but Kenneth Branagh as Gilderoy Lockhart. Man, that is not the way I thought he would look. I expect him to be in his 20s, drop dead gorgeous, kind of a Brad Pitt type guy, and they went a completely different direction with Kenneth Branagh. It's weird to think of Kenneth Branagh playing a heartthrob, because he's kind of goofy looking, but If you don't know who Kenneth Branagh is, he is Hercule Poirot in Death on the Nile and the new Murder on the Orient Express that they redid. And he's a phenomenal actor. I love him to death. But yeah, Heartthrob, I don't see it. I mean, really? But he absolutely killed it in terms of execution. Yeah, if I could be Gilderoy Lockhart as a cosplay, I'd do it. But those high waist pants and suit cuts and everything is all custom, and I just have no idea how I'd ever go about that. So that's never going to happen. But I did want to have the book, and it's really nice because it'll go in my little one of my Harry Potter book nooks, and not a book nook, but you know those little cubes from IKEA where I have a bunch of props in front of it and stuff with advanced potion making, and so there's a couple of books as a background, and so I like it because it complements the Mina Lima design. For advanced potion making, and whereas this was an old beat up one, and I'm actually going to add some brown staining to this at some point as well to really beat the crap out of it. And this one does have a lot going on the inside. This is just a stock prop, and you know, if you get really up close with it, you can see the edges and stuff of gluing this on top of the gold, because it actually looks like this when you print it. So when I make it, this is how it prints. And then I can either cut this out and put the picture behind it and put it over it, and that didn't really work because this is gold foil cardstock. It's extremely hard to cut out even with an X-Acto knife, and the gold foil will crinkle off and things like that. So what I ended up having to do is just paste a picture that was sized over it. And that really wasn't ideal, but at the end of the day, no one's going to notice. It's, you know, you can see it photographs beautifully, and so unless you like put your nose in the book, you're not going to be able to tell. So it'll display great and do what I want to do. But again, this was another fun project with foiled cardstock to sort of simulate foiling. And they'll go in my display, and they'll be cool, and it's awesome. And then they'll get added to my plethora of random fake books that I have. But Gilderoy Lockhart, Magical Me. And if you have not seen the second Harry Potter film, please do, because he is phenomenal. This book is his debut into the film. So they walk into Flourish and Blotts, they're going to buy their school books for the year, and Gilderoy is seizing this opportunity to sell his new book by also making all of his books mandatory textbooks for the class so that he can make money, because everybody has to buy them anyway, but he's celebrating it as though, well, everybody just buys my book. This is so great. Well, you made it mandatory. You know, typical college crap. The professor makes you buy their book. Total scam. And so he sees Harry Potter, and of course he wants to get a photo with him and make himself look more popular. So he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, when Harry Potter walked into Flourish and Blotts today to purchase my new autobiography, Magical Me, little did he know that he'd be leaving today with my entire set of published works, free of charge." And he's just such a douche. And there's something so rewarding about watching a charismatic douche who's just completely full of themselves. It's a great character. All his scenes, he steals them. One of my favorite lines in Harry Potter is when they knock him down the chute for the Chamber of Secrets, and he's like, "Whoa!" And they're like, "Are you all right down there?" And he goes, "It's really quite filthy down here." And he's just so upset and disappointed that he got dirty. He's about to die from a basilisk, and he cares about how dirty his clothes got. Like, he's just a brilliant character, and I thought they did a great job bringing him to life, even though he didn't look anything like we thought he would. I mean, we thought he'd be a young, gorgeous man in his 20s, and they picked Kenneth Branagh, who's, you know, not exactly a male model. But man, does his performance just sell that character. And so that's the other reason I really wanted Magical Me, is because I wanted something replica in my collection that was Gilderoy Lockhart. And I didn't just want his wand. It was like, man, I'd love something Gilderoy Lockhart. And what better than one of his books? The only other one I was thinking of doing was the Who Am I, which is the one that he writes after he gets obliviated and he doesn't know who he is. But it's not as cool looking as this. And I've seen a few people attempt this on the RPF, and I've seen, of course, the Wizarding Workshop version. But if you belong to the Patreon, you get the files and stuff. But, I don't really want any of his other files, and I knew I could make this. It was just a matter of getting the source materials together. So I matched the fonts and everything as to what they were supposed to be. And so Gilderoy Lockhart, the font and the size is pretty close to what it needs to be, pretty close to accurate. And then, of course, the same text and fonts appear here. And then the back, this is where it differs just a little bit. I'm not sure what serif font they used, but it seemed very similar to Times New Roman. So I distorted Times New Roman ever so slightly and changed the pico width and things like that so that it blocked out very similar. And so the only thing I couldn't read was, it says, "This whiz is the biz." And I didn't know if there was a space and an exclamation point in the quotations or if there was something else there. So I did a space, exclamation point, quotations. And I remember on Wizarding Workshop, it said which weekly under the quote, which magazine. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought the magazine was Which Weekly's, because he's Which Weekly's Most Charming Smile Award, 5-time winner. So shouldn't it be Which Weekly magazine? So I changed it from Which to Which Weekly, because that seemed to make more sense to me. So again, some of this stuff is my own. It's my inspiration in a few places, but it's very much the book as we see it in the film. And again, it's color graded, it's sepiaed very heavily, so it's very difficult to tell what the real color is. There are some pictures of props, I think from London or something, where you've seen them, and you try to get the coloring down, kind of like this. This book is actually a little bit more blue in real life, but I love purple, so I made it more purple. So I do put my own flair on these things, but love that I have some Harry Potter books now. And again, I've got Pixies in a cage over there with Pigwidgeon. I've got a bunch of wanted posters, Undesirable #1 on the wall. I've got hanging candles. I've got the Platform 9 3/4. I've got chocolate frogs and all sorts of crap. I'm going to have some cauldrons and stuff pretty soon. I got my Felix Felicis, and I'm going to pick up some more items to add to my collection, some more noble stuff. I have more Volo Gaunt's ring, but I think I'm going to pick up the Locket of Slytherin for my birthday this time around when I go in November. So trying to flesh out more of the Harry Potter look and feel. More and more of my basement is becoming more and more Harry Potter because it's just easier to decorate than Star Wars. Star Wars is very hard to do and be comfy. It's hard to do comfy Star Wars. So as much as I love my one-to-ones and my Star Wars props, it's becoming a lot more Harry Potter. But again, books are a lot of fun. So whether there's something like Sacred Jedi texts, whether they are something Marvel Cinematic Universe and there are other kinds of magic books like the Darkhold, whether or not they are evil, disgusting, rotting books that summon demons like the Necronomicon, or whether or not they are your magical textbooks for going to Hogwarts. I love any and all fake books, and I love making them, even if they're just book covers and things like that. And again, they're super easy to make. The supplies is not complicated. You need a book. You need to print some cardstock. You need to figure out what you want that to look like and print your file. Then you just need a buttload of contact cement. So that way your book opens like a proper book. So beats the hell out of binding one, that's for damn sure. I have some more Necronomicons to make. So I'm going to go paint some Necronomicon covers. And you guys can check out the rest of my epic stuff. So thank you for stopping in. Thank you for checking out Gothman's epic stuff. And remember, if you can't buy it, build it, man.